yeah, welcome to Comic Con. Today, we'll be looking at the Shazam villain, Sivana. Now, most people never heard of Sivana until the release of the 2019 film Shazam, and he's never really taken that seriously because in the comics he does look quite silly.
I could explain, but why don't I just show you? Shazam! From now on, call me Captain Sivana!
But Sivana is really important because he is the first recurring mad scientist villain in comics. In fact, he's one of the first mad scientists just in literature. And that is the first fact about Dr. Sivana. Let's dive in. Dr. Thaddeus Bodog Sivana debuted in Whiz Comics number 2 in 1940. This was also the debut of Shazam. By the way, there is no Whiz Comics number 1. I don't know why. Do you guys not know how to number stuff? Also, I know Shazam's name was originally Captain Marvel. I know this because I wrote a book about Shazam, and then I had to rewrite the entire thing when he changed his name. I'm just going to call him Shazam for the rest of the video, even when I'm referring to the time when he was called Captain Marvel, just because that's what most people know him as nowadays. Sivana, as well as Shazam, was originally affiliated with Fawcett Comics. After Fawcett Comics was cancelled in 1953, Sivana did not appear in any stories until 1972, when the character was absorbed into DC Comics. His first evil scheme was to use a ray that would disable all radio stations unless he received $50 million. He usually creates killer robots to fight Shazam. I know it's not original, but hey, it was the 1940s. He is nicknamed the world's wickedest scientist. His name is a combination of the Hindu god of destruction, Shiva, and the Buddhist term nirvana, which means extinguish. He wears massive glasses, which makes his eyes appear larger than they are. The artists tend to draw him like this to signify that his perception of the world is imbalanced. The character of Sivana was created by Bill Parker and C.C. Beck, who created pretty much all the main characters of Shazam, including the Wizard, Captain Marvel Jr., Mary Marvel, Mr. Mind, and Black Adam. When the character was absorbed into DC Comics, Sivana was made as Billy Batson's step-uncle. Billy Batson is Shazam in his mortal form. This was Sivana's plan to get close to Billy so he could steal Shazam's power for himself. Hold on. Pretending to be an uncle to steal a child's power sounds really like Lemony Snicket. However, this idea was eventually dropped, and Sivana was once again seen as a mad scientist. Sivana has 4 children: Junior, Georgia, Magnificus, and Butia. In one of Sivana's evil schemes, he made Butia try to run for president, which is pretty forward-thinking for a 1940 story. If you've seen the Shazam film, you'd probably think that Sivana is a badass. I cannot stress how ridiculous this character was because he was written in the 1940s. He created a potion that would de-age people. He used this potion on a military base to turn the soldiers into babies. Because evil scheme? Sivana tried to rule the world using laughing lotion. He even used this on Shazam, because if you're laughing, you can't arrest him. I mean, that's just logical. That's way more effective than, using a bomb or something. In the very early comics, Sivana could walk through walls using math. Yeah, they probably best they didn't put that in the movie. Also in the early comics, Sivana regularly insulted Shazam by calling him a big red cheese. It was probably very hurtful back then. He regularly teams up with a telepathic worm. Okay, I can't take this seriously. This is just silly. Can we look at the more recent comics? When DC Comics rebooted in 2012, Sivana's backstory was updated. He is a scientist who is obsessed with the concept of magic. Although his colleagues dismissed him, he sought the Tomb of Black Adam, believing it was a source of magical power. When he discovered the tomb, Sivana was blasted in the face when he tried to open the door. This bolt of energy left a permanent scar around Sivana's eye and gave him the ability to, in his own words, see magic. Because of this, Sivana can read magic spells and communicate with paranormal beings with ease. He is portrayed by Mark Strong in the film Shazam. Mark Strong said he enjoyed playing the character because Sivana is, quote, an evil bastard. It's also worth mentioning that this is the 4th comic book character that Mark Strong has played. He played Merlin in Kingsman, D'Amico in Kick-Ass, and Sinestro in Green Lantern. And for the final fact, in one of his first appearances, he took his family to the planet Venus and walked around the planet's jungle-like terrain. This comic was written in the 1940s, which was years before astronomers realized that Venus was a barren wasteland. Although it sounds ridiculous now in hindsight, back then many astronomers genuinely believed that Venus was a swamp-like planet. But it isn't. It's not even a little bit. On Venus, it rains acid and snows metal. It's literally the most uninhabitable place possible. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Please let me know if there's any other DC supervillains you want me to do a video about, and I'll upload it as soon as possible.